Today we'll be talking about manipulating files manipulating files in Linux. So what does file manipulation mean? File manipulation refers to performing various operations on files and directories within the Linux file system. So let's go back to our graphical user interface so that you see what I am talking about. So if I go into this download folder, you see these files and folders here. On my screen you can see abstract fashion pop, you can see shortcuts. So these are files and folders. Document is a folder or directory. Library is a folder. Look, picture is a folder. So the same way in our command line interface, there are files and folders too. You can see app data, you can see documents, downloads. So today we're talking about how to manipulate these files and folders. There are 4 commands that we'll be talking about in this class. We have the cp command, mv command, rm command, and mkdir command. The cp command is used to copy files and directory. mv, move or rename files and directories. rm, remove files and directories. Then mkdir is used to create directories. Alright, so for ease, we'll be starting with mk directory. I like to call it make directories, to create our directories. So let's go to our bash terminal, clear our screen. So in Windows, normally if you want to create a folder, I can just come here and just right click and click on new. Then I can create a folder like this. The same way in our command line interface, you can create a folder. Okay, so let's create another folder. Let's create a folder called new folder. So mkdir new folder, for example. Boom. So let's see if the folder exists. So we can use our ls command to list all the files and directory, and if you look at this highlighted part, you see that this is the new folders directory. Alright, so if you have been following our previous lesson, you know that we can use cd to move into this particular folder. So can you see we are into this cd folder or directory? So that is basically what the mkdir is used for. So it's for making directories, it's for creating directories. So the syntax for making directories, mkdir, options, and directory name. So yesterday we said the command, the option, and the argument. Command, options, argument. So the same thing still goes for this. So mkdir, the option, and the directory name. So we have already created a new folder. So these they're actually different options. There are different options. Alright. For example, if I want to create a directory inside another directory, let's say I want to create a parent directory, I can use the -p. I can use p option. What do I mean by that? Let's say I want to create a folder named A and create another folder inside of it named B. So I can use mkdir-p. There will now be A/B. So let me use my ls command to see if this was actually created. Can you see A was created here? Can you see that? I can move into A, and if I move into it, if I use ls, you can see that B was created inside of A. Did you get that? Let's try that again. Let's say, okay, let's move back by using cd ... So we are already in our new folder. Don't worry, we'll delete this folder later. So let's say we want to create a folder called second inside a folder called first. So we can do it like this: mkdir first / second. Okay, sorry, I forgot to add the -p option. So let's say we want to create a folder second inside first. So this will be mkdir -p. Let me clear the screen. Okay, mkdir -p first / second. Boom. So let's use our ls to see. Can you see that the folder named first has been created? So let's move into the first folder and see what is inside. cd first ls. Can you see second folder is inside of the first folder? Also, we can create multiple folders. We can create like 2 folders at the same time. Okay, let's do that. Like the 2 folders would be in the same directory. Let's say, okay, this is where we are now. Okay, sorry, pwd, we are inside the first folder. Let's say we want to create 2 folders named apple and mango, for example. So we can use mkdir apple space mango. You see, when I press ls, both folders are created already. We can even create 3 folders. We can create, we can say mkdir. Let's just give it any name: test, exam, results. Let's say those are the folders we want to create. Enter. When you press ls, you see that those folders are created. So that is how to use the mkdir command or program. So remember, in the previous lesson we defined what utilities are. We said utilities are small program that actually perform specific tasks. So the task mkdir performs is to make or create a folder. I hope you got that. Okay. So we have talked about how to create directories. It would be good we also learn how to create files, so that we can do a lot in this lesson. So how do we create a file? We have learned mkdir that is used to create directory. Let's say I want to create an empty file. This is just a bonus. I want to create an empty file. So the touch command, touch, the touch command is used to create an empty file. So let's say I want to create a file named apple.txt. So you just write touch apple.txt. When you enter, let's see if the file exists. ls. Can you see apple.txt exists? Okay, let's create another file. Ball.html. Just write touch ball.html. Voila, it has been created. Let's see. Can you see ball.html has been created? You can create multiple files still with the touch command. Let's say you want to create 3 files. what else can we create? Let's say cat.txt, goat.txt, smile, just give it any name, smile.txt. Alright, ls, you see all these files have been created. So that's how to create an empty file. Remember, we're talking about file manipulation, and it will be fair for me to show you how to create file. So the touch command is used to create an empty file. The touch command is used to create an empty file. Alright, so let me still show you how to write into a file, so that when we start talking about other commands, it will be easy. We'll not need to be going to and fro. How do we write into a file? Okay, let's write into one of these files. Let's say we want to write, this is an apple, into the this is our apple.txt. Although in subsequent lessons, I will still teach about input and output redirection, but let's just, at least for the purpose of this class, I'll just show you how to write into a file. So we use the echo command. You can use the echo command to write into a file. So basically, let's say I want to write, this is an apple, into apple.txt. I can just write this is an apple. So that's echo command, echo space, quotation mark, so the text will be in quotation. Then I use the greater than sign. Then I write the name of the file I want to write into. If the file does not exist, it will be created on the spot there. Alright, so our apple.txt is still there. Now let's confirm if our apple.txt, if what we wrote is written inside apple.txt. So to read the content of a file, we use the cat command, cat, C-A-T. Remember, we are breaking this down as much as possible. I'll teach file redirection properly. So we use cat command to read the content of our apple.txt. All what you just need to say is cat apple.txt, enter. You see the content of apple.txt. The content of apple.txt was displayed on the command line. The content of apple.txt was displayed on the command line. So let's try that again. Let's say we want to write into ball.html. So we use the echo command, echo, we give space, then quotation mark. Let's say I like the ball, want to write it into ball.html. So we use the greater than sign and the name of the file, ball.html, then enter. Now let's see if it was written, if what we wrote is inside the ball.html. So we use cat ball.html. Voila, I like the ball. So good. Now we have learned how to create files and folders and how to write into our files. Now let's talk about the cp command. So the cp command is used to copy files and directories. It is used to copy files and directories. Okay, let's play around our command line. Okay, our apple.txt has a content. Want to copy what is inside apple.txt. Want to copy it into goat.txt. So how do we do that? So we'll do that using the cp command. So that will be cp apple.txt. We'll give space, that's cp space apple.txt. Then write our goat.txt. Now apple.txt is the source, goat.txt is the destination. So the syntax here is cp source and destination. Cp space source space destination. So we want to copy the content of apple.txt into goat.txt. So let's press our enter. Voila. Now let's see if what was inside apple.txt was copied into goat.txt. So how do we do that? Cat goat.txt. Can you see? That means we have, this is an apple written inside goat.txt. Okay, so let's try another one. Let's create another file, another empty file. Touch. Let's say new.txt. Voila. Now I want to copy what is inside apple.txt into new.txt. Still the same command, cp apple.txt, then new.txt. Enter. Now let's check. That's cat new.txt. This is an apple. So that's basically how to use the cp command to copy files. You can also use cp command to copy directory. I'll show you that next. Alright, so let's see what we have here. So this ones have ending with / means that there is a directory, while the other ones are files. So we have a directories and we have first directory. So we have two directories inside this new folder. Alright, so it's possible to copy these files into directory. Okay, let's start with one file. I can copy apple.txt into this directory, this one here, to this directory called first. Boom. So let's see if apple.txt was actually copied into first. So we'll move into first directory, that's cd first. Let's see. Can you see? Apple.txt is inside first directory. This other apple, no, we created it before. This is a folder, but this was the apple.txt that we copied from here. From here now is in this folder already. Is in this first folder. I hope you got that. Now, so that is copying one file. Let's go back. That's cd. You can use cd dash. So you go back one step in the hierarchy. So now let's copy goat, new text, and smile.txt into a directory. I want to copy now. I want to copy like 2 or 3 files. So we'll still use our cp command. Let's start with goat.txt. We'll give space new.txt. Give space smile.txt. So those are our source files. So we want to copy them into the destination. So our destination file is this one here, this A folder. That's our destination folder. So I just write A because it's a folder. Boom. So it means these 3 files will be copied. These 3 files will be copied into this A folder. Alright. So these 3 files will be copied into this folder. So let's check. That's cd into A. ls. Can you see? All the 3 files are copied into the A folder. So you can copy multiple files into a folder. Alright. Let's go back. Then ls. So it's possible to copy a folder into a folder. Like I want to copy this A folder into first. It's possible. So we still use CP. Now in the case of folder, it will not be straightforward like the one for file. So because if you just say CPA into first, it will show error. Can you see it said -r is not specified because A and first are directories, so we need to add the R option. So that's recursive copying. So that will be CP-R, then before the source and the destination. So when you do this, A will be copied. A is still where it is, but if you go into the first folder, ls, you see that A has appeared in this folder. I hope you got that. So the CP-R, that's CP with the recursive stuff, is used to copy a directory into another directory. So we have talked about copying files and we have talked about copying directories. So you can copy multiple files and you can copy multiple directories. So the syntax is just CP and source and destination. That is it. So the mv command, mv move, so it has two functions. It's used to move files and directories, and you can use it to rename files and directories. So let's just dive into that. Okay, let's start with renaming files. mv command, mv program. Good. Now want to rename this apple.txt. Want to rename it to be something like apple1.txt, something like that. Okay, so it's just to use mv space, then the name of the file that you want to rename, and the name you want to rename it to apple1.txt. Can you see that? There is the difference. So let's enter. Boom. ls. Notice that apple has been changed to apple1. Okay, let's rename apple1 to become something like apple2. So the same principle. So that will be mv, that's rename apple1.txt space apple2.txt. So ls, you see that apple1 has changed to apple2. So that's one of the uses of the mv command. Okay, we can also use the mv command to move. So what I just did now was rename. Okay, let's rename this folder, this exam folder. It's pretty simple. The same thing, mv, the previous name exam, then the new name, let's just name it exam2. Okay, ls, you see that this exam has changed to exam2. So that is how you rename files and folders using mv command. Okay, clear the screen. Good. Now let's say we want to move this A folder, want to move it into one of these folders here. Want to move it into any of these folders. How do we do that? We still do that with the mv command. You can use it to move. You can use it to move a file into another location. You can use it to move a folder into another location. Okay, let's start with one of file. Let's move apple.txt into exam2. So that will be mv apple2.txt. Okay, so let's move it into exam2. Boom. So now let's see if it actually moved. ls, can you see that apple.txt is no longer here? Apple.txt is no longer here. It was here before, but it's no longer here. Okay, so now let's see. Let's check our exam2 folder and see if apple2.txt is there. So we'll cd into exam2, boom, ls. Can you see apple 2 has been moved into exam2 folder? So let's go back, cd dot. Okay, so we have our folder. Okay, now let's move exam2 folder into mango folder. Yeah, you can practice this along, exam2 into the mango folder. So the same principle, mv exam2, want to move it into mango, boom. If you write our ls command, you see that exam2, this exam2 is no longer in this folder, so it is in the destination folder. Now let's check our mango folder, mango ls. Can you see exam2 is there with all its files and whatever was inside of it before? So that is how to use the mv command. You can use it to move files, you can use it to move folders. But if there is a case where the folder name does not exist, okay, let's try that. Let's say we want to move, let's go back. Oh, clear. Let's say we want to move into a mango into a folder that does not exist. So mv mango, and let's just write a folder that does not exist. What will happen is that mv will not be moved into new. Mango will not be moved into new. Mango will be renamed as new. Look at it. Mango has been renamed as new. Alright, so be careful about how you use the mv command, because if the file you are moving to, let's say there is a typographical error in the file, so what will happen is that the mv command will rename that your source file. It will rename it as the destination name that you gave to it. So now let's talk about the rum command, our almighty rum. So rum is just like delete. It's not even like, it is delete. So rum is used to remove files and folders. So let's start deleting. Let's start with the files. Let's go back. So rum want to delete apple.txt. So what we just need to do is to say rum apple.txt. Boom. Let's see. It's no longer there. So you can actually still use rum to delete multiple files at the same time. So let's delete ball, cat, goat, new, smile at the same time. So just say rum ball.html space cat.txt goat.txt new.txt smile.txt. Boom. Let's see. Can you see rum deleted all these files completely? Okay, so what we have left, we have two folders. Okay, let's move into one of the folders. Let's move into first folder. Okay, because we have other folders within it. Okay, so can you see we have many folders inside the first folder. Now let's try to delete this apple folder, this folder called apple here. Let's see if it will delete. You see, if we use just rum apple, it will show us error. Why? Because apple is a directory, so it is not a file. And remember what we did for our cp command, for our copy command, when we wanted to copy, is this a copy? Yeah, when we wanted to copy a directory, what we did was that we added the -r option. So we did a recursive copy. So the same thing when we are dealing with folders, want to remove folders or delete folders, we'll use the -arrow option. So that will delete the folder and everything inside of the folder. So if I want to delete the Apple folder, that will be -m space -r. So the arrow can be small letter, it can be capital letter, anyone. So Apple, boom, you see Apple is no longer found. We can still use -m then dash capital letter R. It will still work. Let's delete results. Can you see? Result is no longer found. We can actually delete many folders at the same time. So let's see, -r, a new. These ones I'm writing are the names of the folders we created already. Can you see? Nothing is here again. We have deleted multiple folders. Hope you got that. Okay, now we have moved back to our previous folder. Okay, so we can still use the rm command to delete this other folder. So rm -r a and the first folder itself. So that is how we use the rm command. I hope you got that. So as bonus, I'll quickly talk about wildcards. Wildcard. Now notice that when I was deleting some files and folders, I had to write the name of the files and the folders. So let me create some files in this folder. Okay, let's say touch A, B, okay, anything, yes, call it whatever. Okay, so we have created A, C, D, F, V, B. We have created these files. Actually they are files, not directories. Now I can actually delete everything or copy or do anything on it without actually writing the names of the files. Okay, so if I want to remove everything you are seeing here, if I want to remove everything, all I just need to do is to say rm, then I use this wildcard, which is asterisk folder. I have A, C, D, F, V, B. So if I want to delete every file inside of this folder, I just need to do rm asterisk. rm asterisk means I'm deleting every file inside of this folder. Enter. You will see that all the files are deleted. Okay, let's create other files again. Touch a.txt, b.js, c.km, d.txt. Now I created these files here. Now I can delete all the files ending with .txt. I can delete this a.txt and b.txt without typing a.txt and b.txt. All I just need to do is to say rm asterisk .txt. So what this means is that I'm deleting all, that's asterisk, all the files ending with .txt. Now let's see if this will work. It will surely work. Boom. Can you see? A.txt and b.txt are gone. Can you see that wildcards are very important? They are very, very important. They make your work quicker. So a wildcard, as I said before, is a special character that allows you to perform pattern matching with files name. Alright, so these other wildcards, I will treat them another time. So I hope you learned something. So practice all this, and the more you do these things, the more you understand them. Happy coding.